Welcome to Freedom is the Solution. Today, I want to talk about the crux of everything that this channel is about. So basically, I tasked my subconscious mind to come up with a message that is so simple that anyone I speak to would understand it. And ironically, when the solution came to me, I was completely shocked because the solution was freedom. And freedom is my password for everything on my computers. Of course, I've got other numbers and everything, but my entire life, my password was freedom. And how ironic is that? I see now that my mind has been open to freedom. And let me tell you what the solution is so that I'm not wasting your time. The solution is one law. We still need governments. We still need an entity to govern the community, okay? But that government's only job is to protect this one law. And this law is no one can be forced to do anything. And as soon as I say that, people go, but we have to be forced to pay taxes so that we could get healthcare, education, and pensions. Now, let me debunk all three of them one by one. Now, in a free society, everything that we have now will be replaced by free market capitalism. And free market capitalism is the voluntary exchange of goods and services between two parties. And the goal of free market capitalism is to reduce prices and increase quality. Everywhere we look today, where we have free market capitalism, we are basically having better products at a cheaper price. Do you remember the internet 20 years ago? And look at us now. Do you remember the phone 50 years ago? When a long distance phone call would cost us £1 a minute, and now it's free. Do you remember buying DVDs and CDs and VHS for music? And we used to buy £15 for one CD. And now the CD doesn't even exist and we pay a fixed fee and we listen to unlimited music. The internet, we pay £10 a month on our mobile phone and we get unlimited internet, unlimited texts and unlimited phone calls. So basically, anyone that tells me that they don't want more time and they don't want to do what they want to do, basically is lying to themselves, because everybody looks to save time and save money, and free market capitalism does that. Now, when we are free, then we don't need the education system like we have it today. Because the only reason the education system and the NHS and the pensions exist today is because we are forced to pay taxes. Because something that bad could not exist in a free market capitalistic society. So when we are not forced to pay taxes, the healthcare, the NHS and the education would completely cease to exist. And what would we replace it? Free market capitalism. Schools would pop out everywhere, and these schools would have like coffee shops today. We'd have dedicated schools for dedicated students. So a student that he's interested in art would go to an art school. A student that's interested in music would go to a music school. An engineer, a child that's interested in things would go to a school dedicated for that. So basically, the schools would only survive if they could provide a good service at a cheaper price. Okay? Then the healthcare, the same thing would happen. Free market capitalism would take over it. So hospitals and clinics would pop out of everywhere, and people would be able to choose the best healthcare for them. We don't need one fits all. We can choose ourselves which one's best for us. So insurance companies would pop out and say, if you pay a fixed amount, you have access to all these hospitals and clinics, similar to what we have with the roadside assistance. We pay £40 a year, and if we break down in the middle of a motorway, we get rescued. Same thing. What about the pensions? People talk a lot about pensions. Now, pensions is basically the biggest scam we've ever had, where the government tells us we can retire at 65 and we put money into our pension, and then at 65 we get to get a residual income coming in every month and we get to live our lives. Why at 65? In a free market capitalistic society, we could retire whenever we want. We can retire at 20, 25, 30. Simple as that. Because in a free market capitalistic society, where the role of free market capitalism is to reduce prices, today we could live a comfortable lifestyle with 10 hours of work a week, as an example. And then after that, let's say we don't even want to work 10 hours a week. The interest rate set by the market would allow us to live off our interest on our savings. So an example of that is, let's say interest rates are 10% and we need £12,000 a year to survive. So we need £1,000 a month to pay all our basic needs. So that means we would need £120,000 savings to retire. Okay? Today, interest rates are 0. If you want to retire from the savings alone, it's impossible. Even if you have £10 million savings. So after you retire, because that is the goal of everybody wants to do as least as possible and get paid as much as possible. Simple as that. And once you retire, then you will have the time to do what you want to do. If you want to open up a company to do something that you are interested in, then you can do it. So for example, someone that loves driving would open up a courier company, and that courier company would pay him to drive. So basically he'd be doing something he loves doing. Someone that loves to be a host and cook, or someone that loves to cook, would open up a restaurant and they will get paid to do something they love doing. Okay? And there are people that love doing all types of jobs. And in a free market capitalistic society, we will get paid to do something that we love doing. Okay? Not like today, where we get paid to do something we hate and we have to do it to pay the bills. There's nothing more demoralizing when I see like a security guard just sitting there with all his potential, just sitting there doing nothing because he has to pay his bills and he hates his job. So in a free market capitalistic society without government intervention, people are free and people become richer. Not like today where we become poorer and the people connected with governments get richer. Okay? So we need to really think about my main message to everyone, because I listen to a lot of podcasters, and they all moan about the corrupt world we live in today, but no one offers a solution. And that solution is we all need to get together and demand that law. It's as simple as that. So my strategy is I want to get as many people together. So, for example, if everybody, let's say I get 1 million people that want the same mission, and 1 million people put £10 towards this pot. So we get £10 million a month. Okay? We will use that £10 million to promote this message. There will be billboards everywhere, websites, videos, everything. The same way when there are elections and you see basically all this advertising for the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. I think we should have all this advertising for freedom. Simple as that. And my goal is to get £1 million, is to get 1 million people together, donating £10 a month each, okay? And that 10 million pounds a month used to grow our community. Because when our voice becomes so powerful, no government will be able to ignore us. Freedom is the solution. Let's go get them.